In a hospital room, an old lady is counting her last breaths. Her daughter, Caroline, is right there with her. Outside, the weather is bad and a hurricane is about to arrive. But Caroline is only worried about her mother. She knows her mother is not going to survive. So Caroline does her best from her side so that her mother's last moments pass in comfort. This old mother tells her daughter a story about a clock that was running backward. The story begins with the First World War. A blind clockmaker and his wife have only one son who goes off to war. Sometime later, they receive news of their son's death. Their son's body comes home and is buried. After burying his son, this clockmaker is building a clock for the city's train station. But his son's death shocked him so much that he made a different kind of clock instead. And during the grand opening, we learn that this clock runs backward. According to this man, this clock would give the dead soldiers a chance to return to life, so that the country's young men and his son could live a normal life again. After this, the clockmaker disappears. Some people said he left on a boat via the sea, and some said he died from deep shock. Right then, this old woman says a strange kind of prayer, and at this, her daughter Caroline takes an old book from her bag and starts reading it. And this is the diary of Benjamin Button. He has written a different story. My name is Benjamin Button. Benjamin was born on the night the First World War ended, and at this time there is an atmosphere of joy throughout the city. Filled with happiness, this father goes to his wife, but she can only say a few words. She died right after giving birth. His wife makes her husband promise that he will take care of their son. But when he goes to his baby and lifts the blanket, he doesn't see an ordinary child, but an old baby, as if he were an old man. Screaming in fear, he picks up this baby and goes outside the house. At first, he wanted to throw the child in the river, but just then a policeman starts following him. While running, Mr. Button reaches near a nursing home. He places this child on the steps here, puts some money in the child's clothes, and leaves from there. Sometime later, a worker from this nursing home comes out with her fiancé. After seeing the child, no one leaves him there. Instead, she starts raising and nurturing him like her own child. She names him Benjamin, and she shows this child to the elderly people in the home. After this, she calls a doctor who checks the child. It is premature aging. Since birth, this child has an illness that makes him look old. According to the doctor, this child will not live long, and the doctor tells her to send the child to a specialized care center. But Queenie refuses and starts raising the child like her own. This child starts living well in the nursing home, and the elderly people there are not disturbed by his appearance. Now Benjamin is 3 years old, sitting in a wheelchair, and he looks like an 80-year-old man, and his body feels like that of an 80-year-old. The doctor's prediction does not come true, and this child lives much longer than that, but he cannot walk by himself, so he keeps moving around in this wheelchair. On Saturdays, Queenie takes the child to church in the hope that Queenie might get pregnant and Benjamin might start walking again. Queenie has been trying to get pregnant for many years, but it is not in her fate. One day, the local pastor stands up and asks the Lord to give this child the strength to walk again. This drama of his goes on for a while, turning the whole situation into a show. Lester talks to Queenie, but nothing unusual happens. But somehow he makes Benjamin able to walk. The crowd here is very happy and starts celebrating. But as soon as Benjamin starts walking, this pastor falls down and dies. And since then, 7-year-old Benjamin has been walking with the help of his sticks. Now life at the nursing home continues like this. Many members of this home die and new ones come. During this time, Benjamin meets many good people and learns a lot. One day, a black man takes Benjamin outside this nursing home and shows him the outside world. He also offers Benjamin a beer. Odie loves to roam around, and because of this, Benjamin also gets very excited. After this, he leaves Benjamin alone in an unfamiliar place and goes away. But he finds his way back home on his own. These are his first steps into the outside world. He is very tired but happy. Meanwhile, in the present, the news says that the coming hurricane is going to be very strong, and because of this, the nurses here are very tense. Despite this, Caroline's mother tells her to continue reading the diary. Now here it's Thanksgiving Day in 1930. Benjamin sees his father for the first time, but he has no idea at all. Mr. Button simply keeps looking at this child, whom everyone considers an old grandfather. And on this very day, Benjamin meets Daisy. Daisy is an attractive little girl with blue eyes. They quickly become friends and like to be around each other. Although both are the same age in appearance, it seems like he is this little girl's grandfather. But the people around him don't know that Benjamin is just a child, and they start criticizing his friendship with Daisy. but Daisy and Benjamin know each other well. There is a mutual attraction between them, and they also share their secrets. Caroline is surprised when she learns that her mother is the same Daisy who is in this book's story. The story continues, time passes. Queenie gives birth to a girl. God answers her prayers, and because of this, Benjamin becomes independent and starts mingling with other people. A lady teaches him to play the piano, and around this time, Benjamin notices that his hair is starting to get thicker and his body is getting stronger. He no longer walks with sticks, but walks on his own. One day, Queenie takes Benjamin, who is now 15, with her to a port, and here he accidentally boards a ship. The captain of this ship, Mike, who likes to drink, enjoys talking to Benjamin. Now Benjamin is going home. Just then, a car stops beside him, and it's Mr. Button's car. After this, Mr. Button invites Benjamin for a drink, and they sit and talk for a long time, and Benjamin titles this day, "The Moment of Growing Up." During this time, Benjamin starts getting more attracted to Daisy. One day, he takes Daisy to the port and asks Captain Mike to take them for a ride on the river. Because of this, the captain's license could even be revoked. But he agrees and goes with them, and they enjoy this romantic morning by the riverbank. Benjamin sees changes in his body and feels he is starting to become young. One day, he decides he will live his own life and leaves for a long journey. He says goodbye to Daisy, and Daisy tells him to send her letters all the time. Now Benjamin and Daisy go their separate ways. Daisy goes to a ballet school and starts her career as a dancer. On the other hand, Benjamin travels the world on a boat, and as he had promised Daisy, he keeps sending her postcards constantly. One day, the captain says that Benjamin now looks very young and handsome too. Benjamin laughs and knows he is becoming younger. During the trip, the crew stays at a Winter Palace hotel, and here Benjamin meets Elizabeth. She is a middle-aged, married woman with an ordinary look. Benjamin finds her very beautiful. One night, unable to sleep, Benjamin leaves his bedroom and comes downstairs. There he meets Elizabeth. She can't sleep either. They sit there to have tea and start talking. Elizabeth tells him about all the places she has been. They both like each other's company and start feeling attracted to each other. And this continues. They meet each other every night and keep talking until morning. During this time, Benjamin also talks to Daisy, and he tells her about this woman. At this point, Benjamin considers Daisy a childhood friend and Elizabeth his true love, and their romance is also of a mysterious type. One night, at Elizabeth's suggestion, they go out for a walk. They haven't confessed their feelings to each other, but that doesn't affect their lives in any way. And during this time, one night, this happiness comes to an end. That night, Elizabeth doesn't come to meet him and also disappears from the hotel. And around this time, Benjamin learns that the war has started. Elizabeth only left a note that said, "Glad that I met you." And after that, he never finds out anything about Elizabeth's whereabouts. Around this time, the American government sells a ship to Japan, and Benjamin is also part of it. The cook on this ship refuses to work, so Benjamin offers to take his place. They now enter the combat zone, and on the way, they encounter a ship that was blasted by a torpedo. There are bodies everywhere in the water, and they know they are going to be the next target. The crew prepares for war. Firing happens from both sides, and while fighting the enemy, they collide with an enemy submarine and both ships start sinking in the water. 28 people die that night. Captain Mike is among them. After surviving this, Benjamin gives all his savings to a man because he needs the money. He says goodbye to the sailors, and from this war he learns that death is a part of life. After the war ends, 26-year-old Benjamin comes home, and at this time he looks about 40 years old. His mother, Queenie, hasn't seen Benjamin for a long time, and after meeting her son, Queenie decides to find a girl and a job for Benjamin. After Benjamin arrives, Daisy also comes to the nursing home. They meet each other and are happy. But now Benjamin doesn't see Daisy as a child. He sees her as a beautiful woman. He asks her to dinner at a famous restaurant here. So here, Daisy tells him about her life and career, which was halted because of the war. Now, while walking in the park, Daisy starts dancing here. Daisy is attracted to Benjamin, but Benjamin doesn't want to have any physical or any kind of relationship with her. So he suggests they go for a walk and listen to music. During this time, Benjamin is surprised because his body starts becoming even younger. Soon after, his father comes to meet him and tells him about his business, which is a company that manufactures buttons. And after talking to Benjamin, Mr. Button gathers courage and tells Benjamin the truth that he is his father and has decided to hand over the company to him because Mr. Button is now old and cannot handle the business. Benjamin says nothing and remains quiet. He goes home and tells his mother, Queenie, but she is not ready to hear this news and speaks to him in anger. Now, sometime later, Benjamin goes to his father's place at night, and from there they both go to the seashore to watch the sunrise. But unfortunately, this is also a last farewell and reconciliation for Benjamin, and immediately after this, Benjamin's father dies. After this, Benjamin goes to New York to see Daisy's show. With flowers in his hand, Benjamin meets Daisy backstage, and Daisy invites him along with her friend to a party. After attending the party, Benjamin gets upset and starts to leave, and he sees Daisy dancing and enjoying herself with her friends. And here he learns that she also has a boyfriend. Benjamin thought she would run to him and hug him and said she was so happy to see him, but nothing like that happens. She has moved on with her life and has a boyfriend. Benjamin and Daisy live in different cities, but they never stop thinking about each other. One day, an accident happens with Daisy. Daisy is hit by a car and her leg breaks in 5 places, and right there her dancing career ends. Benjamin comes to the hospital to see her, but here they have another argument and their paths separate again. Now, a few years later, Daisy returns to New Orleans and meets Benjamin, and this old man has now completely transformed into a young person and looks the same age as Daisy. At this time, they go for a walk by the sea. Now after this, Benjamin's adoptive mother, Queenie, dies. After saying goodbye, Benjamin and Daisy start living together. Daisy becomes a dance teacher, and their life is going very well. One day, Daisy tells Benjamin that she is pregnant, and here they fear that this child might not suffer from the same disease as his father. After this, Daisy gives birth to a healthy child, and they name her Caroline. And this Caroline is the same Caroline who is reading her father's diary to her mother. Benjamin understands that he is becoming younger, not older, and here he realizes that he cannot be a normal father or husband. He sells all his business and all his property, transfers the money to his wife's bank account, and leaves from there. So many lives pass, and during this time, Benjamin travels the world and starts doing whatever work he finds. He meets all kinds of people, but every year he keeps sending those postcard letters to his daughter. Daisy marries a very good man and lives happily. One day, Benjamin comes to see his family. Benjamin looks like a 20-year-old boy, and here they understand that the decision they made to separate was a good one. But they are still attracted to each other, and after spending the night in a hotel room, they separate again. They meet again many years later. Daisy has become an old woman, and here Benjamin looks like a teenager. Benjamin starts living in the nursing home where he gets all the comfort, and at this time, Daisy cannot leave him alone. Her daughter lives separately and her husband has died. She devotes all her time to this child, who is actually an old man. Benjamin keeps getting younger and he is forgetting his past life. Daisy raises him like her child, just as ordinary people see them, a child and his old mother. And during this time, the clock at the station is removed and a new clock is installed. After this, Benjamin, like a child, breathes his last in his wife's lap. But before dying, he remembers his whole life and looks at Daisy with a sorrowful gaze. Caroline finishes the story, and meanwhile, the storm starts to arrive, and the water enters the basement where that clock was kept. Caroline starts looking out the window to see what is happening, and on the other side, Daisy takes her last breath with Benjamin's name.